All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get real busy here with video number 2 on special relationships created by two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to watch and listen and then pause the video to write down those things. This is going to be a video that might be a tiny bit longer, so I'm going to be talking fast. So listening and learning first and then writing second will be the best way to go. So from the top of page 106, we have two more special types of relationships formed by two parallel lines cut by a transversal. The first one, alternate interior angles. And I want to talk about ways to remember. Interior means inside your home. The inside of the home, it means the inside of the parallel lines. Alternate meaning opposite sides of the transversal. So here we have, if you have an opportunity to color code, great. If not, use symbols. So you have the red star for the two alternate interior angles, and then the second set of alternate interior angles being on opposite sides of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. Alternate interior angles. I like to use the abbreviation AIA when I have to use an explanation for describing a relationship. So it's okay to write AIA. And the one thing you need to know about alternate interior angles, they are congruent. The second one would be similar, very similar, except now we're talking alternate exterior. Exterior meaning on the outside of your home, on the outside of the parallel lines, and still alternate opposite sides of the transversal. So those are alternate exterior, and of course color code or whatever you need to so that you can recognize what alternate exterior angles look like and where they are located when you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. And of course, alternate exterior angles can be abbreviated AEA. And of course, just like corresponding and alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles are also congruent. So let's practice identifying some of these angle relationships that we've learned so far today. Example 4, identifying the relationship between each pair of angles. So we're going to go kind of quickly here. We have angles 1 and 7, and I'm going to start out right here, 1 and 7. So if I highlight it, that's great. Notice I have A is parallel to B, cut by transversal T. A lot of things depend on the transversal, so I'm going to highlight my transversal so I can see that 1 and 7 are on opposite sides, alternate sides of that transversal. And they are on the outside or the exterior of the parallel lines, so we're talking alternate exterior angles. B says 2 and 8, so 2 and 8 are also opposite sides of the transversal, alternate sides of the transversal, outside the parallel lines or on the exterior. So 2 and 8 are also alternate exterior angles. And C, we have 3 and 5. So right here's 3, right there's 5. 3 and 5 are on alternate or opposite sides of the transversal, except they are on the inside of the parallel lines. So we call those alternate interior angles. And then we have angle 4 and 6. 4 and 6 are also on opposite or alternate sides of the transversal. They are on the inside or interior of the parallel lines, so we call 4 and 6 alternate interior angles. I'm going to erase this real quick. Boom here and boom there. And then we're taking a look at angles 1 and 5, 1 and 5 being right here. 1 and 5 are now on the same side of that transversal, and they are located in the same corresponding positions, so 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. How nice. And then we have F, angles 3 and 7. So here's 3, here's 7. Again, they're on the same side of the transversal, in the same corresponding position, so 3 and 7 are corresponding angles. And I'm going to take care of that for a second. And then I'm going to say G, angles 2 and 4. So 2 and 4. They are on opposite sides of the transversal, but they are also opposite angles. They are opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines, and we learned that a while ago, vertical angles. And then we have 6 and 7. 6 and 7 being right here, they are right next to each other, so you could call them adjacent. But they are also two angles that, being adjacent, form a straight angle, so they are supplementary. And that's probably the one we're concerning ourselves with the most. All right? Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, to our next example. Example number 5, we're going to put all that together, and we're going to identify and answer some questions. So, complete the statement, explain your reasoning. If the measurement of angle 2, that's what this M means in front of the angle symbol. That means the measurement. If the measurement of angle 2 is 75 degrees, then the measurement of angle 7 is what? So I'm going to come over here. I see that A is parallel to B, cut by transversal T. I'm going to highlight my transversal. Oops, that was not such a good highlight there. I'm going to highlight it one more time. And I'm going to say that 2 and 7, right? Here's 2, here's 7. They are on opposite sides, outside the parallel lines, so that means they are alternate exterior angles. Sometimes it's easier to recognize the relationship first. You know that they're alternate exterior. You know that alternate exterior are congruent. So if 2 is 75, then 7 is also 75 degrees. Part B, the measurement of angle 4 is 115. Here's 4. And then what is the measurement of angle 5? So 4 and 5 are on opposite sides of the transversal. This time they're on the inside or interior of the parallel lines. So we're going to call those alternate interior angles. And we know alternate interior angles are congruent. So the measurement of angle 5 is 115 degrees. Part C, if the measurement of angle 8 is 125, if the measurement of angle 8 is 125, then what is the measurement of angle 5? Ooh, 8 and 5 are right here. Two angles form, opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. Those are vertical. I know that vertical angles are congruent, so the measurement of angle 5 is 125 degrees. All right, got that down. Continuing to move forward. D, if the measurement of angle 1 is 117, then what's the measurement of angle 8? Well, here's 1 and here's 8, opposite sides of the transversal, outside the parallel lines on the exterior, so we call them alternate exterior angles. They are congruent, so 8 has to be 117 degrees. The measurement of angle 3, is 47 degrees. What is the measurement of angle 7? So here's 3, here's 7. They are on the same side of the transversal in corresponding locations, so these are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent, so the measurement of angle 7 is 47 degrees. Moving on to F. If the measurement of angle 6 is 38, then what is the measurement of angle 3? So, well, let me erase this a little bit so sometimes it's easier to see. So, we have the measurement of angle 6, which is right here, and the measurement of angle 3 right there. Those are alternate sides of the transversal inside the parallel lines. We call those alternate interior angles. They are congruent, so the measurement of angle 3 must be 38 degrees. Lastly, if the measurement of angle 7 is 52 degrees, what is the measurement of angle 8? Well, here's 7 and here's 8. They look like they're right next to each other, sharing a vertex and a side, forming a straight angle. So we're going to call those supplementary. And supplementary angles equal 180. So if I take 180 and I subtract 52, I get 128. 128. I can count 128. So that means the measurement of angle 8 is 128 degrees. Very good. Moving forward. Our last example of the night, identify the angle pairs. So we're going to name the alternate interior angle pairs for this picture, where A is parallel to B, cut by transversal T, and the alternate interior angles, well, we have 2 and we have 4. So angle 2 and angle 4 are alternate interior. And then we have angle 3 and angle 1 as alternate interior. As far as the alternate exterior angle pairs go, we have 7 and 5. So angle 7 and angle 5. I almost messed that up. I've been having a hard time writing today. Angle 5. And then we have 8 and 6 are also alternate exterior angles. And they are all congruent. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends our video. And I need you to draw 2 parallel lines with a transversal. And then I want you to label the parallel lines L and M and the transversal T. I want you to number the angles. I don't care how you number them. There's 8 angles that are formed. So you're going to have angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And after you number them, you are going to identify the numbered angles that are alternate interior, and then identify the numbered angles that are alternate exterior. So some of us might have different answers because we have our different numbering system, but in the end, we will understand what alternate interior and exterior angles are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time tonight. You rock. It's so awesome working with you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.